Hey, I'm Andrea, and I wanted to talk to you about my new sock pattern, the Celebrate Socks. This is part of a kit that I designed with Catherine over at Gauge Dye Works. We collaborated just like we've done with our summer clubs, but this time it's for a holiday-themed club, and we're having a knit-along over on Ravelry for this as well. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the sock pattern and give you some of the details. First, there's this kind of cute little tag that we had designed especially for the club. It's got the word celebrate in there. Hopefully that's coming out on the camera. And then we have the little logo for our Celebrate Club on the inside. So you could have that on the inside or the outside of your socks. This is an all-over colorwork sock. It's worked top down with a short row heel, and then work to the length that you want, and then work the toe. So the top of the sock is standard 1x1 ribbing, and then you join in your second color, the stripes one, and the stripes are actual stripes, not a gradient, and so as the pattern goes on, they don't line up perfectly with the triangles pattern, and we did that on purpose so that it would give kind of a retro, a little bit of a trippy feel to the whole project. And I love a short row heel for doing self-striping yarns because it doesn't interrupt the pattern. To me, it's really comfortable. It fits really well. Catherine modeled these socks for our photo shoot, and they fit her really well too, around the heel and the instep right here. So I'll just show you the short row heel close up. Hopefully that's coming out. That's what it looks like. It's got like just a little line of where the short rows turn, the wrap and turn short rows. And here's the toe shaping. So if you are working on the sock yourself, you can definitely make it a little bit longer in the leg if you so desire. So just keep on working before you start the heel. And the socks are designed that you can knit the foot as long as you need to as well. So that's like adjustable for foot length, because I know even if you have the same circumference foot, you might not have the same length. 2 thoughts and tips about the color work. The first is that you should probably switch to a needle size that's 1 or 2 sizes bigger than you use for your ribbing and for your stockinette for your color work. And the reason is that most knitters, not everybody, but most knitters work a little more tightly in color work. So it's really helpful to switch to a bigger needle, and that will help you maintain the gauge throughout your sock. The second tip that I'll give you is that for most socks, I recommend negative ease, and that means knitting a sock that's a little bit smaller than your actual foot circumference, because socks tend to stretch over your foot for a good fit. However, when you're knitting a sock with all over color work, it's less stretchy. So it can be really important to actually just knit really close to the same size as your foot. So pick one that's not like a whole inch smaller than your foot, because if you work color work too small, you might not even be able to get your foot into it. And my suggestion is that after you've knit like 2 inches or so of the color work, try and fit it over your foot to make sure that it's stretchy enough to get over your heel. Because that's a thing I find sometimes with color work. If it's the gauge is too tight, then you can, or if the size you chose was too small, it might not fit over your heel because it's just less stretchy than stockinette or ribbing would be. So that's something that's a little bit different. Also, if you are knitting with Magic Loop, it can be helpful to just like change the spot where your cord comes out every inch or so. So place a marker to keep track of your beginning of the round. And then after a few repeats, maybe 2 or 3 repeats of the pattern, then just like pull your cord through and draw it out somewhere else so that it's coming out of 2 different new spots. And that way that'll avoid that weird laddering that can happen when you're working in Magic Loop. If you are working on double pointed needles, not on Magic Loop, then what you can do to move the point where the little corners join up is just when you get to the last stitch of the needle, slip that stitch onto the next needle and knit it on the next needle instead. And that will create sort of a spiral so that your stitches are never, your corner spots rather, are never in the same spot in 2 rounds. And that can really help keep your color work looking really nice. I'll have more tips and we'll talk more about the sock in the Ravelry group. So if you want to join the knit along, if you've gotten your kit and you're ready to join us, we will start our knit along in December at the beginning of the month. So we're going to be talking and giving tips and answering questions and everything. And we having community and sharing, and we would love to have you join us. So that's the Celebrate Socks. From me, Andrea Ringel, and Catherine at Gauge Dye Works. We would love to just celebrate however you celebrate the holidays together by having some time for ourselves, relaxing and knitting together with friends. So thank you for watching, and I hope you love the socks as much as